Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. The name of this video lesson is called How Well Can You Measure? Alright, so to get us started, take a look at this graph. Alright, so when we measure the values of two related quantities, plotting the measurements in the coordinate plane can help us decide if it makes sense to model them with a proportional relationship. So take a look at this data. Let me grab my pen here. Alright, so again, when we measure the values of two related quantities, so here's our quantities. We have the number of hours, that's our x values, and the y values are the cost per dollars, right? And this is related to parking cars. So this value right here, we know to park a car for 2 hours, it costs somewhere a little bit under $15, right? That's our estimation. For say this point right here, to park a car 4 hours, it costs somewhere between $25 to $30. Again, here's 25 and here's 30, and it looks like this value is right about there. So if the points are close to a line, okay, and go through 0, 0, then a proportional relationship is a good model. So just looking at this graph, all right, we can see that the points, okay, line up to make a nice straight line, and they're on track to go through point 0, 0 right here, which I've already outlined, okay? And remember, that point 0, 0 means that for 0 hours, you're paying no money, and that makes sense, right? You're not parking your car for any time, so you're not gonna pay any money. So if the points make a nice straight line, right, and they go through 0, 0, we can say that this data represents a proportional relationship. But there's another way to do this as well. An additional way to investigate whether or not a relationship is proportional is by making a table. So take a look here. Here we have the x values, which is the number of quarters. And here we have the weight in grams, which is the y value. And then here we have the grams per quarter. Now, the way we got that, okay, is we took the y value and we divide it by the x value. So when I do 3.2 and I divide it by 1, that gives us 3.2. When I do 5.8 and I divide it by 2, that gives us 2.9, and so on, right? Now, based on this information, because these k values are quite different, okay, here we have 2 3/4 or 2.75, and here we have 3.2. All right, we can expect that this data, okay, is not proportional because these values need to be much closer. Ideally, they'd all be exactly the same, but sometimes they'll be very, very close. So again, two things to look out for. Number one, data is proportional, right, if the k values are very, very close, okay? And two, when this information is represented on a graph, the points make a straight line, and it goes through the origin, which is 0, 0.